Today, we're gonna be making the most perfect crispy buffalo cauliflower. And if you're in the mood for something with a little more bounce when you bite down, I'll also be showing you how to do it with an easy Seitan nugget recipe. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Andrew. I'm part of a tag team duo that creates recipes at makeitdairyfree.com. So I'm not sure about you, but I never personally needed a large sports event in order to enjoy some really good wings. It could be Tuesday, wings. I could be having a pizza, wings. Trying to figure out what to bring to the cookout, wings. I could be on the phone personally, just talking to the wife. I'm headed home from the dentist. You need me to stop and get anything to eat? You know what she said, wings. In today's Buffalo special, I'm gonna be walking you through my take on the infamous cauliflower wings. We're gonna be making the crispiest crust, adding a little flair to the basic sauce. And I made this a few times, and in the very last time, which was after the video, I came up with a tip to incorporate the deepest flavor and even step up the basic crisp on the wing. Also, because some of us, I'll admit, even myself, just miss the chicken-like texture to some of the items that we eat, we're going through how to make an effortless Seitan that doesn't require all the wrapping of the foil and steamer type method to cook. All right, fam, you know what time it is, wing time. To make cauliflower wings, you want to have the head of the cauliflower chopped up, being mindful to leave the stems on. Technically, I guess you could chop the stems off and have cauliflower nuggets, but then you just straight up being wasteful. So just keep the stems on and stop doing too much. We're going to make a dry mixture for our crust with cornstarch and cornmeal. Then we're going to incorporate some flavor with other spices to make the crust enjoyable on its own. The way I'm going through how to make this wing, you can technically make this wing something of your own, maybe a barbecue one. Now we're going to make a wet mixture for the dry stuff to hold on to. I'm using coconut cream, some hot sauce, and liquid smoke. The coconut cream is the only necessity in this step. The other items help add in some more flavor to the wing. Keep in mind, you could also use yogurt in this step. That would help if you were allergic to coconut. Give that a good whisk to blend everything together. Then add your cauliflower into the bowl and stir repeatedly to get them fully coated. Next, either spoon or pour in your dry mixture over top and repeat the process of stirring to get this perfectly coated. Get these into a pan with frying oil, giving them roughly about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Thoroughly mix together buffalo sauce, brown sugar, and some vegan butter. Pour this amazing sauce over the wings and serve immediately. So I'll be the first to admit, every once in a while, I do miss the texture that I used to get when eating chicken. And this is where tofu, or in this case, seitan comes in. The process to cook is certainly longer, but it 100% helps satisfy that texture craving. But keep in mind, some mushrooms or tofu can help with that texture craving and keep it gluten-free at the same damn time. Keeping things easy, we're going to get our dry ingredients into a bowl and give it a quick stir to get the party started. In an additional large bowl, we're going to whisk together the wet stuff while adding in some type of vinegar to help cut that weedy taste that you get from the gluten. Add the dry stuff to the wet stuff and stir it all together with a spatula or your hand. Next, knead it maybe 2 to 3 minutes to help the dough come together and become elastic. Don't forget, you want that bounce texture, so you're gonna get that by giving it a good knead prior to cooking. Now, to make the cooking process easy, we're simply just going to add in some vegetable stock, coconut aminos, and garlic. So what you're gonna do is bring that pot to a boil before you add in your seitan. Cut the dough in half and shape them into balls and simply cook them in the pot. You're gonna cook it slightly uncovered to help release some of the steam throughout the pot. 30 minutes later, you're going to flip the seitan over and give it an additional 30 minutes. When your seitan is finished up, be sure to let it cool. It is extremely hot. Then cut it into pieces to create the nuggets. So different from our last process, this time around, we're going to set up stations in order to bread the seitan and then get it to the cooking station. First, we drop it in the wet batter. Then we roll it into the dry batter. After that, we pop it right into the frying pan. So one thing I like about the station method more than I like about just putting everything in a bowl and stirring it together is you can actually control how much coating is on there, making sure every single piece is perfect. One thing I hate about it, it is extremely messy. Stuff is just everywhere. In both processes, you want to allow them to cool and dry on a rack prior to eating. From here, it's wing time. So, I got about 2 things I want to go over with you. In the process of cooking these a few times, I thought about how sometimes chicken is breaded, but it doesn't have a egg wash or any type of wet batter prior to actually breading. But chicken itself, even if you dry it, has a slightly wet or slimy texture to it. I don't know if it's weird for you, but it's weird for me to think about raw chicken since going vegan. But because of the chicken being able to be breaded, although it doesn't sometimes go through an egg wash, I was trying to see how you can do that with cauliflower. So what I did is when I washed the produce, I actually left it slightly wet when going into the batter. And instead of doing the wet batter first, I did the dry one. When adding it to the dry batter, it got coated really good. I put it in the wet batter and then added it back into the dry batter again. These things came out magnificent. The other thing I wanted to go over with you is keep in mind, you don't have to fry these at all. If you would like to bake them or air fry them, one of those 2 ways just to, reduce the intake of oil, both work perfectly well. Keep in mind that it does take a little longer on either of those processes than the frying process. First, if you haven't seen our latest video, that's prior to this one, I should say, please take some time to go back and support it and watch it for your new favorite way to make a vegan cheeseburger. Larisha adds some ingredients to a meat substitute that makes it really juicy and extremely tasty. We also posted a nutmeg spiced maple buttercream frosting. This would go great on a vanilla cake or even some cinnamon rolls, like those banana bread ones. Speaking of cinnamon rolls, this week's cinnamon roll is a dark chocolate and cherry breakfast cinnamon roll. This one is a beauty and a delectable treat. Family, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let's catch up in the comments. And until next time, believe in good. Peace.